Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports with another football video, and today I'm going over my Week 13 NFL predictions. I do this video every single week, and I really enjoy doing them. Last week's predictions went pretty well, so I'm excited for this week's. If you guys are new, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I make new content every single day, or almost every single day, and I've been getting amazing support over the last few weeks, so I really want to thank you guys for that. As you can see, though, only 14% of the people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you're watching right now and you haven't yet subscribed, you should make sure to do that. It really helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe if you decide to do so later. So without further ado, let's get into the prediction. Okay, so to start off, we have Wednesday Night Football. So yes, I am including this game in these predictions just because it hasn't played yet. I know this is technically a Week 12 game, not a Week 13 game, but I just wanted to include it and update my score prediction from my last video. So I think that after the virus plagues the Ravens, and if even though they might be having Lamar, they might not. I'm not really sure how that's all working. I think that the Ravens are going to score less points than I originally had them tailed to get. So I have the Steelers going to get 27. I have the Ravens at 17. I think this will be an interesting divisional game, but I don't think the Ravens really have a chance here, especially after all of the issues that they've had this week. I think that the last game that they played was a better representation of how these two teams are compared to each other, but I think that the Steelers are going to take this one fairly easily because they've had a lot of time to rest from their last game. So have the Ravens, but the Ravens have had some issues along the way. Next, we have the 1 o'clock games. We have Saints-Falcons, Vikings-Jaguars, Dolphins-Bengals, Bears-Lions, Titans-Browns, Colts-Texans, and Raiders-Jets. So I have Saints-Falcons going 24-20 in favor of the Saints. Drew Brees is still out, and I think that this will be a pretty close game on both sides. I think that the Falcons offense can score on the Saints defense. I think they'll score more points than they did in the last matchup. I think it'll be a closer game than the last one was, but I think the Saints will still have the victory here. For Titans-Browns, I have the Titans winning 31-27. I think that the Browns can keep it close. Tennessee doesn't have the best defense in the league, and the Browns have a pretty good offense. So I think that the Browns can keep this game close, but I'm giving Tennessee the win 31-24. Vikings-Jaguars. The Vikings I have winning 31-20. There's not really much else to be said here. It's the Jaguars. They have one win. They have lost 10 games in a row, soon to be 11. And the Vikings will improve, I believe, will improve to 6-6. And if Arizona were to lose to the Rams, then they would also be 6-6 in the same predicament as the Vikings. They'd both be fighting for that last playoff spot now. The Bears, on the other hand, are facing the Lions. The Bears are also 5-6 and could also potentially become 6-6 if they win this game. I think the Bears have a good chance of winning this game because the Lions have been regressing the last few weeks. So I think that 27-17 is a fair score. I don't think that the Bears offense is able to score 27 points, but I still think that they have a chance at it. But either way, that Bears-Lions game is going to be very important because it will open up, if they win, it'll open up a chance for the Bears to still make the playoffs. Everyone thought that they lost their chance to make the playoffs after they went from 4-0 to 5-6, but I still think the Bears do have a small chance at making the playoffs, and because of that, they have a chance. I think that they'll take advantage of that in this game against the Lions. Colts-Texans, I have the Colts winning 35-30. I think the Texans will play them tough. The Texans are looking upward. I think that they'll play them very tough, but I think 35-30 is a fair score for that game. Moving on to Raiders-Jets, I have the Raiders winning 31-17. The Jets have 0 wins, and I think that the Raiders should get this game fairly easily. 31-17 is my final score prediction for this game. I don't even know if the Jets will score 17, but the Raiders' defense isn't the best in the league, so I think that they can score a few points. As for Dolphins-Bengals, I have the Dolphins winning 30-13. The Bengals still don't have Joe Burrow. I don't know if he's coming back for the rest of the season, and I think that the Dolphins should win this game pretty handily. Their defense is also fairly strong, so it's one of the stronger defenses in the league. So I think that the Bengals shouldn't be able to put too many points up against the Dolphins defense. As for the Bengals defense, it's not very good, and Miami has a fairly strong offense. So I think 30-13 is a pretty safe score prediction, even though it is quite a bit out there. For the 4 o'clock games, we have Seahawks Giants, Rams Cardinals, Patriots Chargers, and Packers Eagles. So for the 4 o'clock games, we start off with Seahawks Giants. The Seahawks defense has played well for the past couple of weeks against some decent offenses, and I think they can continue to play well. But this Giants game will definitely tell us more about the Seahawks defense. I think that the Giants have a fairly good offense. It's not great, but it's fairly okay. And I think that the Giants can keep this game competitive, but I think that the Seahawks will definitely win. I think that the Giants will score upwards of 20 points. I don't know if they'll score a full 27, but I think that they will score upwards of 20. And the Seahawks offense, I think, will just carry this one away. I think Russell Wilson's going to he's just going to fire bombs down the field. He's going to want to try and get back into the MVP race. And I think that this game is going to be one of the games that can help him to do that. Rams Cardinals, I have the Rams winning 27-24. I think that the Cardinals will win the second matchup between the Rams and the Cardinals. I think that this first matchup will go to the Rams, and the second matchup will go to the Cardinals, who are trying to get into the playoffs later on in the season. Because if they drop to 6-6, then they'll be tied with either the Vikings or the Bears, or both, very likely. I don't think both of those teams are going to lose. So if they're tied at 6-6 with one or two other teams, then if they go on to be 7-6 and then they have to win a game later on to get into the playoffs, I think that game, the Cardinals could beat the Rams. But I think that right now, in a 4 o'clock game, Rams coming off of a loss to the 49ers, playing another divisional game, I think the Rams are going to want revenge, and they're going to want it good. And they're going to beat the Cardinals 27-24. Patriots Chargers, I have as 24-20. The Chargers have a very strong offense. Justin Herbert's played very well this season. But the Patriots, as of late, have been playing very well. They are 3-1 in the last 4 games. And I think that we'll continue to add on to that streak. I think we'll be 4-1 at the end of this week in the last 5 games. And I think that we can put up 24 points against the Chargers defense. It's not the best defense in the league. It's not too strong. And I think that our offense can handle their defense fairly well. I think our defense also, although it hasn't been incredible, can handle the Chargers offense. The Chargers offense is very good and centered around Justin Herbert, but their running game, I don't believe, is one of the strongest in the league. So I think that we can win that game 24-20. As for Packers-Eagles, I have the Packers destroying the Eagles 35-20. I don't see this game being close in any stretch of the imagination whatsoever. End of story. The Packers defense, I think, will completely shut down the Eagles. The Seahawks defense held them to 17. I think the Packers defense can hold them to 20. And the Eagles defense is just really bad, and Aaron Rodgers is really wanting that MVP of the season. I think he's going to get it. And this game and the Seahawks game, these 4 o'clock games are going to tell a lot about who the MVP is going to be. Sunday Night Football, we have Chiefs-Broncos. There's not really a whole lot to say here. The Broncos barely have a quarterback. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. I don't even know if the Broncos will score 14 points. I don't know if they'll have a quarterback by next week. If they do have a quarterback, I still think they'll score 14 points. Their quarterback will be coming off of a week of not really practicing a whole lot, and it's not that great of a quarterback to begin with. I don't see Kansas City losing this game in any universe, and I don't even know if it's going to be close. Moving on to the Monday night variety games. We have Steelers versus Washington, Bills versus Niners. I have the Steelers beating Washington 35-24. I have the Bills beating the Niners 34-27. These are very similar scores, I've noticed. Not because I am tired, not because I'm out of scores to use, but because I think that these will actually be the scores of the game. I think the Bills-Niners will be closer than the Steelers football team. The Bills' defense isn't the strongest in the league, and the Niners are a very weird team. I think that they can make this game close, but I think Buffalo will come out with the victory. As for Steelers versus Washington, I have the Steelers winning 35-24. I think that the Steelers are a very strong team. They're undefeated. Washington, on the other hand, is fighting for the division title in the worst league in the worst division in the league. Right now, I think that Pittsburgh has this. Pittsburgh's offense should be able to deal a lot of damage to that Washington defense. And on the other side of the football, I think that the Washington offense will have issues with the Steelers defense. Alex Smith has played well in the past. Alex Smith played well last week, but I think that the Steelers' defense is strong enough where it won't really be a problem, and the Steelers will be able to win this game pretty handily by about 2 scores. So last but not least, we have Ravens-Cowboys. I have the Ravens beating the Cowboys 20-20 in a pretty decent victory. I think that this will be a game controlled by the Ravens where the Cowboys try and come back at the end and utterly fail. The Andy Dalton's played well as the quarterback of the Cowboys the last couple of weeks. He had a very good game against the Vikings, and then he had a okay game last week for the first half of the game on Thanksgiving, and then he kind of ended up giving up and dying. Not really, but he kind of did. So I think that the Ravens can win this game 20-20, and I think that it'll pretty much be a blowout that ends up looking close if you only look at the box score. As for the Ravens themselves, I think that they'll be healthy by the time of this game. I think that Lamar should be back. I'm not positive, but I think he should be back by the time of this game. And I think that 20-20 is a pretty fair score for this game. Even without Lamar, I think that the Ravens can still win this game. The Cowboys team is not very strong, and I think that the Ravens will be 7-5 after the Steelers game and this Cowboys game. And by next Tuesday, we should see a much more interesting playoff picture. So thank you guys all for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I make new content pretty much every single day, and I can't believe the support. We're nearly at 500 subscribers. We're just like 6 away. So if you guys can subscribe to the channel, that would be incredible. Comment down below your favorite team and what you guys want to see in future videos, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out.